Anyway, after that crazy lunacy, I swear I'm mentally sound, everyone. Totally, 100%. Anyway, hello everybody. I hope you're having a good morning, and for that matter, a great day. As you can see, probably, today, I'm gonna be talking about the Paladins update. We just barely got the update show a little bit earlier today, and I gotta say that I have some opinions on the stuff coming out next patch, but I just wanted to share my opinions with you guys and see what you guys were thinking. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you do, you know what to do. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and let's get into the video. Okay, getting started. What is really big about this patch, this next patch? Well, there isn't necessarily a new character, which is a bit of a disappointment for a lot of people, I'm sure. For me, I'll be honest, I don't care that much. I mean, a subtle change like that is like whatever, in my opinion, you know. Sure, I enjoy having new characters be released a bunch, but if that means that we get, in this case, a new something, we'll get into that later, but if we get something even bigger, you know, something more important to me than just one new character, in my opinion, that's a good thing. So if they want to take time to, like, you know, update the game, add a couple balance changes, you know, change up a bunch of things, add something completely new that we haven't received in many patches now, you know, I'm perfectly okay if they don't want to release one new character. I think that that's a worthwhile trade. But let's get into it. Here's the update notes, right here. It's called the Dawnforge update. This is going to be very crucial because it's the name of what's coming out in this update, Dawnforge, which is a new map for Siege, which we haven't received a new map in Siege in so long. So unbearably long. It has been forever since we've received a new map, it feels. And so I'm just super excited that we're getting a new map. And in my opinion, if we don't get a new character but instead get a new map, I think that's a worthwhile trade because, you know, sometimes you go, hey, new characters and new maps are like, you know, I can play with a new character in my lobby, you know, every game or every other game, but they're a new character. Eventually they will fade from the populace and you'll just rarely see them as someone who one-tricks them, plays them consistently. But in this case, a new map you will always see. When there's a new map and it's a good new map, that could be life-changing. That could change up the game because you could be really excited because you loaded into a new map and that map's not going away a patch from now, 2 patches from now. So a new map is a big deal. For granted, new maps are also harder to make, and they don't have nearly as much excitement for them as other things. I acknowledge that the Paladins dev team doesn't have the biggest map making team, being of course one person, that person being Shaq. He's a godsend. He does some really good work, but to say that he is, you know, the equivalent to several other teams that, you know, people have this expectation that Paladins should have a new map, a new character, all this all the time, 100% of the time. When Paladins is run by a B studio, like a B dev team, they're not like a AAA dev team and they're not like an indie team, but they have about the size of an indie team sometimes. Like, one person made this map. Of course, we'll get into the details about the map that's a little bit more interesting in a second, but there are definitely some things to get into. So Dawnforge is the name of the update, and the battle pass's name is Chaos Rising. Yep, there will be a new battle pass as always, you know. I gotta say, these skins are insane. So here's a Tyra skin. Here's the new Tyra skin. And I just gotta say, mwah, mwah. Just absolutely beautiful. I can't stress enough. They're so good. Sometimes I'm just like, I can't get enough of these skins. This one especially is pretty good. I don't play a lot of Tyra anymore. I used to be a Tyra fiend, but I know that people are complaining that people are gonna play Tyra now, but I genuinely haven't seen Tyra a lot in my games, and I don't think that's gonna change. But this is a beautiful skin. Good work. Nothing to complain. Just kind of interesting. And then we have Harlequin Rom. Or the Harlequin Rom. She's hot, I'll be honest. She's very hot. I know that a lot of people are upset that it's another gender bent skin, but honestly, I feel like it's either one of those things where you're super for it or you're super against it, and I'm super for it. So any of you guys who are gonna complain about gender bent skins, I don't care. I'll be honest. I love the gender bent skins, and this Rom one is really good. And I swear it's not just because she's a redhead and I'm into redheads. You guys start picking up on that, that's illegal. You know, you can't pay attention to what I like in women. But you know, she's so hot, and seeing her in game it's just a step above. The new Rom skin is insane. I like it. But then we got recolors. They're purple instead of blue. I really like the blue purple one for Tyra. The Rom one's okay. I mean, no critiques here. Blue and purple, great color scheme. I don't know if it's necessarily my color scheme. I like the Tyra one, but I don't play that much Tyra or Rom. I know Addie plays a lot of Rom, so it's going to be cool to see Addie run this Rom skin, because she's going to run this Rom skin. I know her. She really likes women, and especially gender bent skins, so she's going to be running the heck out of this skin. It's going to be fun to play with her a bunch and see her play these skins. They've stopped doing free skins, which I don't know how to feel about it. I don't think that that's a bad thing, but like, I liked it when they were doing the one free skin. I understand that a lot of people didn't really care. I mean, some people cared, and those people are probably pretty sad about it, but I wish they would bring back the free skins. Okay, other than that, we have icons. This is a cute animated spray. I love it. Love it so much. A new avatar for the new Ash skin. This is amazing. We'll get to the Ash skin. I think that this is hands down my favorite Ash skin ever, and it's so insane. And then, you know, sprays. Here's the border. Kind of creepy, I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm gonna rock this one. It's kind of like, it's very Halloween-y, you know, very, you know, Halloween themed. And this is gonna be covering the rest of the year, all the way up until December. So it's very Halloween-like. So that's great, but like, it's kind of too creepy for me. I don't like the mask. I bet some people are gonna rock this, but it's not my style. Overall, another 600 crystals to unlock in the Trials of the Realm. Standard stuff. A 7 emote. Nothing too good. I mean, everyone should know by now that I'm not the biggest fan of 7. Kind of obvious. I've wished for his downfall, and now that he's no longer like a stupidly strong gimmick character and people actually have to play him with skill, you'll notice that they've sort of died off as a species. I think that there are some things that they can buff about him that would make him better, but it's going to be a long road before I actually like 7. Flexing on them, cute, cool, like, you know, I love emotes or MVP poses for Octavia. The problem is, who plays Octavia? I hate to be like that, but I haven't seen someone play Octavia. Maybe they should give Octavia some love, like a new skin or something. And then here's another 2 things about one of the new skins, and then another new skin. We'll get into these. and my opinion on them. Eyes up here. This is great because whenever they did the reveal for this skin, I could not help but look at his nipples. I'll be honest, because his nipples are so like apparent in the skin. I don't mean to be like that, but like they're right there. His nipples are right there. You can see them. They're so easy to notice. I don't know if they intended that, but here's the new siege map, Dawnforge. So this has some very unique gimmicks. I wonder if I can find like a video of it or not. I know that they uploaded, while they were doing it, they ran through the map. But that orb right there on the side, you can move it towards the center of the point. When you're standing near the orb, it does 5 damage to you about every second or so. If you touch a button, it will move the orb towards the center of the point and lock all the upper floors, sight lanes from the middle. So you can't like shoot the middle people as easily when the orb is in the center. But when the orb is in the center, everyone in the center takes 5 damage consistently. So it's essentially free pressure on tanks at the push of a button, but that also hurts your tank. So it's not necessarily something you're going to want to go for all the time, but if they have a frontline on point and you do not have a frontline at the current moment, like your frontline's dead, always press the orb. The orb will go to the center and it will pressure the frontline to get off of point. I mean, it is only 5 damage a second. With Haven, that's like 2 damage, 3 damage a second, which isn't that big of a deal, but it's a cool like gimmick. And I like that this map has some gimmicks because that means it's going to take a lot longer before we really decide on whether or not this is going to be a good meta map or a bad meta map. There's also a lot of flank routes on this map, and it's very open, but not like too open for snipers. I do have a bit of a critique for this map. I think that there's a little too much for like pathways. I think they could have closed down a certain areas, but overall, I think it's a good map. I think it's going to have some nice opportunities for unique gimmicks and stuff. So I think that Shaq did a brilliant design of this map and that it could be a cool map or one of my favorite maps in the entire game, depending on how it turns out. But overall, this map definitely provides quite a lot. It's pretty cool. I mean, there's a hammer further back. It just goes up and down. It's essentially an elevator that if you're underneath it, it's an insta-kill, which is very brutal. But it's one of those things where it's like, you have to be in a small enclosed room. Sure, Khan could go run over and grab you and move you into the hammer, and then you could die. That could be a gimmick that works out pretty well in this map, but it's not like Khan throwing you off the map is anything too obscene or anything. So here we have the actual map. I found the video of it. As you can see, you can move around. It's got some unique gimmicks of it that are pretty cool. Overall, there's the hammer, right? Like, and you have the orb in the center. That's sort of the whole big deal about the map. There's nothing like too extensive in this video, but like there's a lot of flank routes and stuff that you can do. But overall, I think it's just generally, it's a cool looking map. It looks amazing, but like you got the flank pass, you got the hammer. This is the hammer I was talking about. If you stand underneath that, it's an insta-kill. If you get put underneath that, it's an insta-kill. It's also an elevator, so it moves up and down, which is very good, but very cool, and yet not the biggest thing I've ever seen. They were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. But as you guys saw, this is the spawn room. They don't tell you that, but that over there is the spawn room. That previous thing is the spawn room. It's just a nice wide open area. But also, orbs here normally, you press the button and then the orb goes towards the center, which is a very crucial mechanic on trying to pressure the tanks off. So it's a very cool thing. It's gonna take a while before I know that this is a good or a bad map. But I feel like Shaq did a brilliant design. This took him 6 months of working on it, so it's definitely got some love and care in it, and I love it. I think they did a great job. Wonderful job by them. Love you guys. Thank you for this new map. I can't wait to play some. So that's very good. Other than that, we got this Ash skin. Draconic Hunter. Ash. I gotta say, this is one of my favorite Ash skins of all time ever. It's so beautiful. It's got a nice aesthetic to it. It's all nice and gold and white. It's got this like paladin look to it. I love what they did with her hair. I think it's just genuinely a good skin. And it's a bounty score exclusive skin, so that means it's only free to play skin, right? Like you can't buy this skin. Once it's in there, you know, free to play people can get it. As long as you have enough bounty tokens, you can have this, like, one of the best Ash skins in my opinion. I'm gonna rock this skin, and I'm only going to rock this skin. Other than that, you have this Kasumi skin called Lovestruck Kasumi. If you know, you know that this is very inspired by a certain anime. I'm pretty sure. There were definitely some anime inspirations. I don't know if this is directly inspired by anything, but it's very My Hero Academia-esque with Toga, but I love this skin. I think it's great. I've always been a fan of the crazy woman, you know, crazy psycho person who's, you know, in love with someone. I've always loved that aesthetic, so I'm gonna want to rock this skin. It is only purchasable though, so it's, you know, you can either direct purchase it or get it from the arcane chest. Pretty good. I gotta love this skin as well. I think all of the skins coming out this patch are good, really good. We got a map, tons of skins. We don't have any gold skins, which kind of suck. And here we have the final of the skins. This is the Skull and Bones Caspian skin. It's only 300 crystals and or a Dragon's Call chest purchase. Overall, it's okay. I mean, nothing spectacular. It's a recolor Caspian skin. He has like 3 of those already, but this one's probably his best one in my opinion. You got the guns. I like the color of the guns. They're very, you know, I think that these are better than his gold skin guns, but that's my own personal opinion. But overall, good. I don't think that there was a bad skin this patch. This one probably by far the weakest, but overall, good stuff. Nothing to complain about. A lot of good skins and a new map. No new characters, but before we get into the balance changes, I just wanted to say that, yeah, no, it's a lot of cool new stuff. I don't think anything's really bad coming in the next patch. I think it's, a lot of people are going to complain about there not being a new character or new this, new that, but I'm just excited about the new map. I play so much of this game that a new map is a big deal for me. You know, a new map is something new to do, you know, on every gaming session. So, okay, so getting into balance changes, what really has come out? First of all, Kill to Heal, massive change. It now ignores anti-healing, which is a very crucial thing. I feel like Kill to Heal has always been the weaker of the two out of Life Rip or Kill to Heal. Life Rip has always been just the tiniest bit more consistent. Now, Kill to Heal is definitely going to be useful. I don't know if it's going to make it the meta item that, you know, all flanks and DPS characters are going to want to build or anything, but overall, good change. Next, we have Rejuvenate. Small buff to the actual, like, effectiveness. Now you can get up to 30% and 10% at first, instead of 8 to 24, which is a good thing. 8 scaling versus 10 scaling, pretty good change. Cost is increased by 50 though, so that's kind of it's rough for frontlines who need it, but other than them, it's whatever. Lethality. got a buff. I sort of expected this one. Lethality has definitely been the worst item in the item store for a while now. They changed it so it's no longer 2.5 seconds. It's now 3.5 seconds. Pretty good movement speed for that long. And when you get it, it increases your jump height by 180% at maximum rank. So if you get a max ranked Maeve with lethality, she can jump, which is going to be hilarious. Her and Vatu will have so much vertical mobility if they get a kill, which is, I don't know why you would want that, but like if you want it, there you go. Betty, huge buff to Betty. Now whenever she hits you with her left click, it just increased damage. Flat out, 100 damage increase. Huge change, really good. Small buff to Corvus, very minor. Don't know if it's gonna be great. Just Shadow Tribunal card, pretty good, you know? Either really good or really bad. Scorch buff on Fernando, who runs Scorched. Only Lunatics run Scorched instead of Aegis, you know? So, I mean, not a bad thing. If you're one of the few people who play Scorch, good job. You got a buff. Imani, buff on her Frostbolt, dealing 10 more damage. Pretty good, pretty good. Pyromania now increases mana generation of by Fireball. So when you're shooting out fireballs, it now also increases how fast you can get the primed up fireball that does an extra little oomph, you know. So you'll be able to get that quicker, which is a good change. Inara got nerfed. That was sort of expected. It now reduces the incoming bonus healing that she gets, which, I mean, you're going to build Rejuve anyway, so you're going to get a fraction of that back. But for the people who didn't build Rejuve, oh, it's kind of rough. Mother's Grace now also increases the amount of healing while using Earthen Guard, which is, I'd say that's honestly a bigger deal. Make you want to run Mother's Grace more? Who knows? Who knows? But here's the crucial things that everyone has been excited about. The Kusami changes. She has been a very pretentious, you know, character. A lot of people have a lot of issues with her, and so she has been changed. They buffed her movement ability. I don't know why, I'll be honest. I don't think that this is a good change, but I understand that, like, you know, her movement ability is kind of lackluster. It's not like you're gonna, you know, get too far with the movement ability, but the damage reduction increase is not a good thing in my opinion. They increased the amount of damage reduction she gets while using her movement, which is like 55 to 75. Now you can straight up tank an Androx Assault while in your F. It's like, okay. If I'm ever low health, hit F, you can't die. But here's the biggest nerf about her. Her Yokai doll, it decreases the targeting cone from 6 to 2 degrees. So, now you have to be within 2 degrees of your character to hit them, which is a very crucial nerf. But also a buff to people who can actually aim. This is going to be a big deal, but the next thing is going to be even bigger. It decreases the curse stack damage bonus from 25 to 20%. Now, each stack can only increase her damage by a total of 100%. At max stack, she's just barely doing 100% of the damage she was doing base, which is, to my knowledge, something like, you know, she's doing 400 per stab now, which is very crucially a lot lower than a lot of characters because she has such a, you know, low skill floor, but I don't know. This is going to be a very interesting change. She could either be really good or really bad next patch, and I don't know which one it's going to be. I hope she drops in some popularity because I know a lot of people are very upset at the, you know, at the extent that she is currently in, but who knows? That's gonna take some complications. Kanessa, her restore card now removed the cooldown, but now it just is a flat heal of 25%. Or it changed from a flat heal of 25% to 6% scaling. Pretty good change. I mean, nothing too significant. That's just a minor change for Kanessa. She might be, a bit more bulky now, have some, better counterplay. A lot of people are gonna see that this is a increased swarm cooldown and see this as a nerf. It's a buff for Lilith. I don't know why they're buffing Lilith. Lilith is a character who I felt like was already kind of strong. I mean, she sort of fell off just due to people needing different sorts of healing. But now that her Q lasts like a lot longer, it now lasts 6.5 seconds instead of 4 seconds. That's an insane increase. And just, adding a second and a half onto cooldown, yeah, her Q's just going to be up a lot more, which is a huge buff for her. Maybe she'll become meta, who knows? She's sort of just been like, she was meta for about a patch or a half of a patch, and then she's sort of now just sitting awkwardly, in the middle ground between meta and not very meta, so who knows exactly where she'll be by the end. Damba, small buff to Spirit's Chosen. Most people like to run that talent, so there you go. Damba buff, really good. So far, none of these nerfs or buffs have been really bad, which is, I feel like they've been definitely taking the right steps. I feel like they've been taking the right steps to increasing the strength of a lot of their characters. Now, do I think Kasumi should have been nerfed more? Yes, by far. So far, that's what out of all of the changes, that's the one that I don't like. I think they should have nerfed Kasumi a tiny bit more, but that's my own personal opinion. Pip, increased the bonus damage on Catalyst from 30% to 35%. Flat out buff, cool. Ray, huge buff. The traveling speed of her chain heal is now like almost double, which is a huge buff. That I can't understate how big of a deal. It's like 90% faster. It's 150% the speed of what it was, which is so good. I don't know if that's going to necessarily attribute to fixing the spinning bug. I hope it does, but a faster heal, really good. Maybe you can actually heal people more consistently on Ray, and Ray will actually become more of a good thing. One of her cards also got buffed, and yeah, no, every one of her cards just got buffed. Now her Arcane Maelstrom is no longer 0.1 second per, shot you hit. It's 4% flat. So you can reduce 20% of your cooldown per hit, which I feel like that's not going to change much, but who knows? That might be a big deal. That might not be a big deal. We'll see. But Ray's got some huge buffs. I feel like a lot of healers got some good buffs so far. And Kasumi got a nerf, and yeah, no, Kasumi's the only nerf so far, which is interesting. Maybe they feel like a lot of other characters are in a good place. Ceres, buff. Cool. Don't really care. Think Ceres is one of those. Terminus, nice controller change. His, people are either going to love it or hate it. I don't know. His shield no longer auto targets with aim assist. Probably a good thing. Who knows? Unless that's like his right click. I think that's his shield though. Power Siphon, I think that's his shield. So his shield no longer auto aims. I think it's kind of weird that it auto aimed, but who knows? That some people will hate it, some people will like it. Tyra had a crossfire nerf? Okay, so her ult now can pre-fire sooner, I think. I think that's what that's saying. So like before you would pop her ult and then it would take a little bit longer before you could shoot again. I think that's just what that's saying. it now takes half as long before you can shoot. Her ult's pretty weak, so that's a nice change. Ying, Shatter has an increase or a decreased cooldown. Flat out just a buff for healers and damage, which is really good. Once again, a bunch of very crucial buffs. Honestly, nothing too major. Nothing insanely major, but a lot of good changes. Overall, I think next patch is going to be really good. I think that they could have nerfed Kasumi just a tiny bit more, but I think that the skins are really good. I hope that the new map's really good, but we're going to have to see how that all pans out. I hope you guys enjoy this synopsis of next patch, but tell me your guys' thoughts in the comments below on what you think about next patch and how you think it's going to turn out. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next time for whatever I decide to record. But yeah, no, tell me what you guys think of the next update in the comments below. I'm really curious to see how people react to everything. I know that a lot of people, in my opinion, are gonna overreact negatively because that's just the Paladins community. I've been in here for quite a while. I'm well aware that everyone wants to complain about this patch like non-stop. That's all I ever hear is complain, complain, complain. But in my own personal opinion, I think it's going to be a great patch. I think it's going to be a good thing, and I hope it turns out very well. But yeah, no. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, no, I'll see you guys next time. Love you guys, and goodbye.